This episode of Lions Den was brought to you by Six. I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you.
Welcome to the Lions Den. 144 men on the rise again. Yes. And you better show some intellect. That'll be the only way a nigga ever get respect. Real. Welcome to the Lions Den. 144 men on the rise again. Yes. And you better show some intellect. That'll be the only way a nigga ever get respect. To the Jeremiah, I'm finna bring the fire. Cause on the second turn, you don't crucify the Messiah. Roaring like a lion instead of being defiant. You better come together and try to form an alliance. Black Jesus minister, new heavyweight champ. Finna turn the lights on instead of using a lamp. They try to keep up with us, but they leg is catching a cramp. Hebrew Israelites, now that's the name of the camp. That's a divine prospect. Shout out to the brother Ron. When they see the Hebrews, other ideologies run. Then apologies come, forever calling us dumb. Bringing all of the facts and leave them silent and numb. So Kwam Yasha Allah, call up Denya Allah. We got no problem, tell the truth and we follow. Got skilled debaters like Michael Edwards. We never go run, PowerPoint, we bring the lecture. Welcome to the Lions Den. 144 men on the rise again. Yes. And you better show some intellect. That'll be the only way a nigga ever get respect. Real. Welcome to the Lions Den. 144 men on the rise again. Yes. And you better show some intellect. That'll be the only way a nigga ever get respect. We see you talking down when you're doing your interviews. We got a multitude of knowledge, so how could we lose? Used to be in the gang, so I give them the blues. Welcome to the Lions Den. We deep when we face you. I know it's hard to understand your ancestors was a slave, but challenging biblical knowledge, homie, we did great. Intellectually, I know you really hear me. You're standing right here next to me. Kyng. Yeah, you gon' get this work. When a father don't spend his time, that mean he fit this curse. Be the people like it or not. Take a look at your block. The rise of AOC, Masharaya Sha'ala, cause we got it on lock. Identify through our conditions. Try to label us African without permission. Never laying down, tapping out, no submission. See us in the streets every day, we on a mission. Welcome to the Lions Den. 144 men on the rise again. Yes. And you better show some intellect. That'll be the only way a nigga ever get respect. Real. Welcome to the Lions Den. 144 men on the rise again. Yes. And you better show some intellect. That'll be the only way a nigga ever get respect. Real.
We get a certain type of treatment in the conscious community. We get a certain type of treatment in the conscious community in which you are at the forefront of, Sarnetta. So what we're saying is that we want to have a dialogue and discussion about what is good for Black people and what should we be dealing with within our community and our faith. Man, we wanted to have an intelligent conversation. So why don't you invite me on your...
Yo. Hold up 1 second, fam. Hold up 1 second. Yo, we in the building, huh? Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Lions Den, man. The source of the Lions Den, right? We're in the building. The world's hottest debate league. We at it again, man. We're going to bring y'all an outstanding debate tonight. You understand? That needs to be talked about, that's been speculated about. So we're going to bring the information to the table, man. That's what we do, man. Right? So, you know, for those that don't know, my name is Jeremiah. Y'all, please say to y'all, Mr. Handing Out L's. That's who I am. And I just want to let y'all know, man, I want to send out a shout out to all the affiliates, to all the brothers and sisters that have been supporting us, man. I just want to let all of y'all know we have a new t-shirt for the Lions Den, the source of the Lions Den, right? So support the league, right? So we can make bigger moves. We can bring you better presentations, man, when we're doing these things, man. So always remember to support your nation, right? So right now, man, I want to bring my brother Judah 7000 on to talk to us, man, right? 7000, you in the building?
Yeah. Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Welcome to the Lions Den Source Debate League. Hey, this is going to be a very good debate. I think it's the first intergender debate that we have had on the Lions Den Source, platform. We got our heretics in the building. You know, the Gladiator School cats, you know, they still Lions Den. We got Kyng, Seth, Mr. Greg Phillips. He's one of the judges. We got my Ock over there, Jesus Black, and Sister Diamond Gardner. It's gonna be and the General Yashar. Those are some of the people that's gonna be participating in this demonstration today. You know, I'm just gonna sit back. I'm gonna jump up off here, and I'm gonna be out sharing the video. Like I say, we're doing big things in Lions Den. We're getting ready to go against Solo Mind Debate League.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? You know, we're gonna beat the brakes off the dark side. The guy at the dark side over there, the AOI, and the rest of their crew over there. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going down. We're gonna put some of our heretics on you. You know. So I want everybody to stay tuned for that. We got another debate coming up next Saturday. I'm going against Black Lion Supreme. Kinetic science versus the Bible. What's best for the Black community? We got Prince for to get back in the ring. Prince Yakana. He trying to get his British belt back from Jihad the assassin. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give a shout out to one more shout out, and I'm gonna get up off here. I want to get this started. Shout out to Brew News, the Light magazine. Hey, it's for us, by us, but we ain't FUBU because we ain't selling out. You can advertise your businesses, like you say, your clothes, your music, everything up in the magazine. So stay. Look out for that. A new issue should be coming out again pretty soon. With that being said, the People Champ 7000 signing out. Shalom, Barakatah.
Yo, all right, family. Yo, shout out to Sister Ivory. She in the building, man. Right. Shout out to all the family out there, man, that's been supporting us, man, as we've been making our transitions to grow. And listen, man, talking about the world's hottest debate league, man. We're bringing it out, man. And anybody that got a problem with us saying that, we're willing to get in the ring and defend our stance. We'll bring the whole team. If you have a team, and if you don't, come on by yourself so we can lay the smack down on that candy ass, because that's what we do, right? So right now, man, I want to introduce the two competitors, right? So, you know, one of my brothers, you know what I'm saying, from the motherland, Israel, right? Because this brother's the Israelite. I don't give a damn what he say, okay? Right? My brother King Seth, right? And let's make this clear. We did not arrange this debate. This was something, so just like we always do in the back chat, these are things that formulate on their own, right? Through discussions, right? People challenging information, and these are things that happen organically. You understand? So, you know, I want to, you know, introduce my sister Diamond, who, you know, told me months ago that, hey, if it's time to get in the ring, she guarantees she's gonna show up. And guess what? She's in the building, man. Right? So right now I want to let King Seth introduce himself, and then we'll pass the mic to Sister Diamond.
All right, man. Y'all know who I am, man. Most of y'all already know who I am out there, man. This the number one heathen heretic, man, for real. You know, this King Seth. You know, I want to give a shout out. You know what I'm saying? The Lions Den. You know, them my team, them my brothers, man. We gonna rock with them. But this team right here, y'all know, Team Heretic all day long, the militant one. You know what I'm saying? I got the King Heretic with me today, so y'all in for double the scoop today. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Information Age, Sister Ivory. You know what I'm saying? That's my folks. That's my people. That's where we at. Y'all can come check us out on Information Age too. You know what I'm saying? The Lions Den. We got Jeremiah Judah debates. We got Jeremiah debates and all that on there, man. So y'all come check us out, and y'all make sure y'all come check out your boy. Y'all make sure y'all come show up for your boy King Seth, man. You know, the heathen heretic, the Hamite, all that. I won't smoke with them all, you know what I'm saying? Say, Lions Den, hey, we ready for these Solar Mind boys, you know what I'm saying? Hey, whatever they got, we gonna smoke them. We gonna smoke them, you know what I'm saying? And we gonna rock that Lions Den, and we gonna rock that heretic all day long. You know what I'm saying? I'm signing out, man. King Seth.
Yo. All right, man. So again, man, I want to introduce my sister, you know what I'm saying, who ain't no coward, who stepped up to the plate. The information was challenged. She had a problem with that, man. So talk to us, Sister Diamond.
Shalom and greetings, family. Thank you for everybody that came out today to witness this thrashing that's about to take place.
That's right.
I'm well prepared. I study long. I study strong. I'm ready. I'm really ready to get to this information. Once again, thank you everybody that came out, and I'm here for it.
All right, family. All right, man. So, yo, man, let's get to this smoke, man. We got some judges in the building, so I want them to get an opportunity to introduce themselves, and then we'll get started, man. First up, Big Heretic, Greg Phillips. What's up? What's up,
Peace, peace. How y'all doing? Wait, hey, okay. Now I'm outside, man. It's a lot of people in the building. But yeah, keep practice social distancing. Team Heritage, UNI, ACL, MSTA, Black Chicago, Race Over Religion. I want to hear some good stuff on both ends. May the most sound information win. You know, the Heretic way.
That's right.
Facts.
All right, man. I want to allow the general to speak to the audience, man. One of the judges, talk to us, fam.
Shalom, shalom, family. First off, I want to give all praise to the Most High. Name is His Son, Yahushai.
That's right.
And yeah, it's about that time, family. We about to bring this information out. You know, a lot of people like to say, you know, ain't no science in the Bible, but my sister stepped up to the plate and said she about to hit a home run tonight. So she's about to sit here and watch this, you know, this massacre of our virtuous warrior sister, you know, take care of this heretic. And with that being said, let's get it in, family.
That's right. That's right. All right. So we got our non-biased judge, man. I'm, you know, happy to have this brother on the platform, man. This brother's intelligent. I spent a lot of time dialoguing with this brother, man, and he's actually from the Sooner State. You know what I'm talking about, man? Talk to us,
Boomer Sooner, baby. Boomer Sooner.
That's right,
All right, peace, y'all. Peace. This is Jesus Black. I'm a heretic. You know, Seth is my man. I dialogue with Sister Diamond. Both of them I got nothing but love and respect for. So I'm just here to be unbiased and you know, call it right down the middle.
That's right, man. That's right. All right, family. So, you know, as we do, man, King Seth, man, we're going to give you the floor first, right? So you can bring out the information. I don't know what's going on with the PowerPoint situations. Hold on, let me check it out real quick.
Yeah, bro, you tripping.
I got you. Right? All right, so we're going to let you bring your information out first.
All right, so you got the point. You got the PowerPoint?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now. I'm pulling it up right now.
I bet.
So get your pens and your pads, family. Take notes. We want you to be interactive, right? We want you to be interactive with this information because we're gonna open up the floor for questions. There's gonna be 3 10-minute rounds, right? And then we're gonna have a back and forth round between the competitors, and then we're going to the audience, and then we're going to the judges, right? Or it might be judges then audience, right? So let me see what we got here. I got you. I got your PowerPoint right here.
I bet. I'm finna send you 2 videos to your cell phone right now too that I need you to play in the second round.
All right, no sweat.
And you can play them in the order that I sent them to you.
All right, no sweat. All right, family. So I mean, people coming on in. I see y'all in the building. Look, man, do the channel a favor, man. Hit the thumbs up, man. Hit the like button. It helps the page, helps us grow, right? So, King Seth, are you ready?
Yeah, let's get it.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna share my screen.
Let's play Raid Shadow Legends. Start now for free.
All right, here we go.
All right, yeah. First slide. This is the definition of science: a systematic method of continuing investigation that uses observation, hypothesis, testing, measurement, experimentation, logical argument, and theory building to lead to more adequate explanations of natural phenomena. Now, I don't know if y'all have good understanding, but read that again when y'all get time and understand what it is. Now watch this. Let's go to the next one. How do we define science? Let's see, how do we define science? Science is defined by Natural Academy of Sciences is the use of evidence to construct testable explanations and predictions of natural phenomena, as well as knowledge generated through this process. Now, in this debate, I'm going to contend my opponent's affirmation on the topic, and I'm going to plead the negative and illustrate that any act that is claimed to be science in the Bible is nothing more than a hypothesis. And not only a hypothesis, but a divine hypothesis is that was claimed to be given by a supernatural being in order for the person to believe. So anything that is classified as a scientific, let's say, exploit, or let's say whatever. CC want to say agriculture, but the Hebrews were dealing with agriculture. They was dealing with livestock. They were dealing with goats. They was nomadic goat herders. They didn't stay at one place long enough to practice agriculture or growing food, because they didn't stay nowhere. They are nomadic people. So that's one that she can't get out of. That's one thing that she might try to bring up, but that's already there, because y'all know that she's a nomadic, that those people are nomadic goat herders. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next slide, bro. All right, is the Bible at odds? At odds with is the Bible at odds with science? It has to be. It has to be. Because simply, hold on, I was doing something. I'm sorry, I apologize. I was trying to send this to Jeremiah, and I didn't have my slides on my phone. Okay, let's get it. All right, the Bible tells us, for miracles happen, the birth of Jesus to a virgin and his resurrection from the grave are cardinal elements in the faith of Christians. Now, okay, now let's go back. The Bible tells us that miracles happen. The birth of Jesus to a virgin and his resurrection from the grave to the cardinal elements in faith in Christians. Now let's go back up to the first slide. Let's go back up to the first slide. All right, now let's look at this definition. Now the Bible tells us that the miracles happen at birth in Jesus to a virgin. Okay, can this be observed? No. Can this be tested? It can be tested, but will it happen? No. Can we experiment with it? Yeah, we can experiment with it, but we know it's not going to happen. Is it a logical argument and theory building to lead to an adequate explanation of natural phenomena? No. No. So the birth of Jesus is not a scientific feat. It's not classified as science. It's classified as what? The first sentence. The Bible tells us that miracles happen. That it is a miracle. Miracles are not considered science. So therefore, it is a divine hypothesis. What is a hypothesis? Does anybody know what a hypothesis is? A hypothesis is basically an educated guess. You see what I'm saying? That's basically what it is. You observing something, you seeing something, and you coming up with a hypothesis that you can test that hypothesis and get a reaction. And see to where you can see and study and understand what happened. That is what a hypothesis is. But these you can't test at all, just based on the definition of science. These things are not. Okay, let's go to the next one. The origin of life itself stems from the mind and act of God. Incredibly, some scientists teach that we evolved from singular cells. Okay, singular cells. In the face of the amazing complexity of living beings, they still find no evidence of intelligence desired in the universe. And you can look this up on Biblica.com. You know what I'm saying? I just went to, just some things I just looked up and I just copied. Okay. Now you went to the next one. Let's go to the next. Let's see about some claims. Let's see about some claims in the science in the Bible. All right. Let's go to the claims, bro. To the what's that one? Slide 4. Yeah, slide 4.
This is it, bro.
Yeah, that's the Yeah, that's the definition. Hypothesis, an assumption or a concession made for the sake of argument. No,
Right.
not that one, bro. Go back up.
Oh, okay.
Go back up. Go back up to the claims. It's a the Bible. Yeah, this is right there. Okay. I looked up some claim science that's in the Bible, right? Was it tested and proven using scientific method? None of these were. None of these were. So let's go. It says, matter of fact, this one is for all you flat earthers. It actually says in the Bible right here, if you read the top when it says the Bible, the earth is a sphere. Jeremiah Judah, it say the earth is a sphere in the Bible. It's a sphere in the Bible. Okay, now I looked up that one. That's Isaiah 40:22. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 22. And it's saying that the earth is flat, basically. It has nothing to do with what the verse is saying. It's chapter 40, verse 22. Let's go to Isaiah 22. Okay, 22. All right. He sits enthroned above the circle of the earth, and its people are like grasshoppers. He stretches out the heaven like a canopy and spreads them out like a tent to live in. All right, now that has something to do with flat Earth. That sounds like a flat Earth, something laying down on a dome with me. That's not saying that it's a sphere. So these sites that claim science is in the Bible are actually inadequate. And then it goes on to say it's a science now. The Earth is a sphere. You see what I'm saying? So it's trying to say that the Bible is condoning science, which when you look up the verses, there has nothing to do with anything scientific at all. You see what I'm saying? These are just claims because it's a divine hypothesis, something that you got based on what you based on your thought, on your train of thought. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Where the claim science in the Bible actually science or hypothesis? What's a hypothesis? A hypothesis, definition of a hypothesis, an assumption or concession made for the sake of argument. An interpretation of a practical situation or condition taken as ground of action. You see what I'm saying? An attentive assumption made in the order to draw out the test its logical and empirical consequences. You see what I'm saying? These are hypotheses. These are not anything that's claimed in the Bible was not a person sat there, was curious about something, wanted to see something, how something worked, figured out how it worked, and did it again and can repeat it. Like many other inventions was people was trying to figure out how to do things. Everything in the Bible was given supposedly by who? By the Most High. By the Most High. So it's a divine hypothesis. You're guessing. You're taking an assumption on that's right. You're not testing it, so it's no science. It can't possibly be science with no science in it or telling you how to repeat this action. Every scientist, even from the ancient Egyptians, wrote how they did things on the wall. You can see the scripts. You can see the scripts from Imhotep. You can see all that. How they was the scalpels, all that. You can see all that. Medical journals, all
that. 1 minute remaining.
You can see all that, but can you see that in the Bible? No, because nothing can be tested and repeated again. So therefore, it is not science. Period. I yield the flow.
Yo, great opening round, family. Great opening round. Right. So the brother went in on a few points and pulled out scriptures from the Bible. You understand, to substantiate his case. We want to see. The debate is there science in the Bible? That's what the debate is, family. Understand that.
And it's my job as the moderator to make sure we stand on topic with these things, right? So these things are important, man, that we have a comprehensive understanding. All right. So, Sister Diamond, are you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
So, how are we gonna do this? Did you send that to me?
I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen.
Okay, come.
All right. Whew. I don't know who else fell asleep, but I know I did. Did he just cut himself in the first
Man,
round?
get off the gas.
Himself?
No, Seth.
He said science was about observation. Woo, thank you for helping me whip down on you. Thank you. Whew. He has a burden of proof. He has to prove that there is no science in the Bible. He wants to debate flat earth. Is he confused while we're here? I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Let me know if y'all can see it. Let me know. Can you see it?
Not yet.
All right.
All right, you got your 606.
All right, gotcha. All right, so I'm gonna try and share my screen here, family.
It's not
I don't see it coming up
yet.
Yeah, I don't see it coming up. But that's okay. If it don't come up, I can just defeat King Seth with these scriptures and this evidence that I have here. So if it don't come up, it's all well and good. Let's go to Colossians 1:17. Let's start off there. If it pop up, I'll put it up. If not, we'll just keep this gravy train going. Colossians 1:17.
I'll pull it up. Colossians what?
Colossians 1:17.
All right.
All right. So, and he is before all things, and by him all things consist. Nothing will be here without the Most High. Period. So, what is science? It is the intellectual and practical activity encompassing the systematic study of structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation, as King Seth said, and experiment, right? That's by Oxford. All right. It's also defined as the study of nature and the behavior of natural things and the knowledge that we obtain by them. Okay. So we're going to talk about several different types of science found in the Bible. Okay. So before we get into Genesis, let's just go over what physics is. Let's recap on physics. Okay. So according to Oxford Dictionary of Science, physics is the study of the laws that determine the structure of the universe. And we're going to go over one of those laws in just a minute. Okay. It's a reference to matter and energy of which it consists. It is concerned not with chemical changes that occur, but with forces that exist between objects and the interrelationship between matter and energy. Okay. Traditionally, the study was divided into separate fields: heat, light, sound, electricity, magnetism, and mechanics, right? So the foundation for physics is based on space, sound, matter, time, heat, energy, motion, magnetism, etc. Family. We're going to find an example of that. We're going to find an example of physics in Genesis 1:1. All right. Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Okay. So in the beginning is showing us time. God created. That's showing us energy, the heavens and the earth. That's showing us space, matter, and motion. It's evident. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 4:18. 2 Corinthians 4:18. Okay, so while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. Okay, let's get a little bit more understanding of that. Romans 1:20. Romans 1:20. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. So the people that believe in the Big Bang Theory in terms of nothing, they don't understand how it started, it just started, are the ones that believe that a rock actually hit the earth. The Most High tells you this right here in Romans 1:20, that they were made, everything was made by him, so that there is no excuse. Okay, so let's think about some things that are unseen. Microwaves are unseen, gamma rays, light waves, radio waves, infrared waves, ultraviolet rays, X-rays. Okay, keep that in mind. So when we speak, it is powered by the air in our lungs, fam. The voice box vibrates. Pay attention to that word. The voice box vibrates, and the sound of our voice resonates through our noses, sinuses, and mouths, and then carries on for a short time through sound waves. Okay, so what are sound waves? It's the form that sound takes when it passes through air, water, etc. Okay, also defined as a vibration in the air and water, etc., that we hear as sound. So the Most High was sending out that vibration when he first spoke, right? This is how the Big Bang occurred, because he spoke. Okay, so let's look at the law of vibration. This is a universal law. We were talking about that a little bit earlier when we were defining physics, right? The law of vibration states that everything in existence, both seen and unseen, when taken to its most basic form, consists of pure energy and exists as a vibrationary pattern. All right. Let's look at Genesis 1:3. Genesis 1:3. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Okay, so there's your bang again. God said. All right, this is how things began to exist, because he spoke it into existence. We know this, right? John 1:1. John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. John 6:63. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profileth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life, right? So there's another example of just speaking things into existence, family. Come on, we know this. We know that there's physics in the Bible. We just went over that in Genesis 1 and 3. All right, let's talk about semantics, right? Semantics is dealing with physics as well, right? So semantics is the study of wave phenomena, especially sound and their visual representations, okay? So basically bringing matter into life.
1 minute remaining.
Bringing matter to life by way of sound. That is semantics. All right. I have a video here for you, family. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick. If not, it's all well and good. What you can do is go to YouTube. I encourage you, family, please go to YouTube and look at these scientific things that people have done with semantics. They are showing you how.
YouTube in your second round if you want me to.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I'd appreciate that. I'd appreciate that. So we'll actually show you that. Go ahead.
Just send me the link.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. I interrupted you.
No problem. So we're gonna see basically what sound waves do scientifically when you speak or when there's a tone in the atmosphere, how matter actually changes, right? You'll get a chance to see that for yourself. So you will have to be a fool to think that the Most High did not create the world, and when he spoke, nothing happened. This is the Big Bang. This is why the people in the Big Bang they will never ever say what happened at the beginning. None of them have a grasp on that. They always, and all of them say that, from NASA to CERN, they don't know how it began. They don't know. It's just a theory. They don't have any evidence, but we have the evidence here.
Yo. All right, so we getting into it, man, right? We're getting into the swing of things. We're looking at some of the things that the sister brought forth, you know what I'm saying, dealing with science, right? Dealing with the power and the spoken word. These are great, wonderful points, things that we have to take in consideration. So I hope you judges are paying attention, man. I hope you're paying attention to the metaphysics and the semantics that she's bringing forth, right? All of this is going to make sense as these things keep unfolding round after round on both sides, right? So let's be objective. Let's pay attention, right? King Seth, are you ready?
Most definitely, bro. I've been ready. The gorilla in the building. Real talk. I should wear my gas mask for all that smoke she thought she brought. You understand? Now I'm gonna say a couple. Tell me when it's my turn to go, bro. I'm gonna say a couple words, and then I want you to play the 2 videos that I showed, that I sent you.
All right. Go ahead. It is 6:08, right?
All right. Yeah.
You got to 6:18.
All right. First of all, when she brought up Genesis, the first chapter, the first ones, that cannot be science because that was not observed and it cannot be repeated. That is actually the opposite of the definition of science or anything dealing with science. So it cannot be physics because it cannot be repeated, nor was it observed that the Most High said or did any of this. Now play the first video, and I'm glad she brought up physics because I have a special guest for y'all, Dr. Bill Tyson DeGrassi. He finna give you the business for this one right here. Go ahead, play that video. Both of them just under 10 minutes. So, both of them 10 minutes. 5 minutes a piece. So, like 4 and 5 minutes, but you need to play them.
All right, 1 second here.
Right.
1 second here. I got your time paused.
Appreciate it.
Make this case that that was the beginning and that there had to be something that provoked the beginning? Do you give them an A at least for trying to reconcile faith and reason?
I don't think they're reconcilable.
What do you mean?
Well, so let me say that.
Lucky, I got your time paused. Can you see? Oh, here we go.
All efforts that have been invested by brilliant people of the past have failed at that exercise.
All right, so Lakia family, these things be buffering, man. Let me see. Let me try it again. Let me try it again.
I appreciate y'all patience, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you too, yeah, Mike.
Yeah, no doubt. This is let me go ahead and click off it.
You too, Sister Diamond.
No problem.
I'm gonna try it again. These videos kind of give us problem on this for some reason. It don't run smooth with StreamYard, man. Let's see if this thing gonna play. Next time, man, we're gonna have to get these videos downloaded, and then we'll play them, and they'll play smoother from my desktop.
Oh, okay. All right, that's a bit. Might not be a next time for Sister Diamond on this one.
Make this case that that was the beginning and that there had to be something that provoked the beginning. Do you give them an A at least for trying to reconcile faith and reason?
I don't think they're reconcilable.
What do you mean?
Well, so let me say that.
Damn. Hey, can I just play it off my phone? Can I just the voice?
Efforts that have been invested by
there you go.
Brilliant people of the past have failed at that exercise. It just failed. And so I don't, the track record is so poor that going forward, I have essentially zero confidence, near zero confidence that there will be fruitful things to emerge from the effort to reconcile. So, for example, if you knew nothing about science and you read, say, the Bible, the Old Testament, which in Genesis is an account of nature. That's what that is. And I said to you, give me your description of the natural world based only on this. You would say the world was created in 6 days and that stars are just little points of light, much lesser than the sun. And in fact, they can fall out of the sky, right? Because that's what happens during the Revelation. One of the signs that the second coming is that the stars will fall out of the sky and land on Earth. So to even write that means you don't know what those things are. You have no idea of what the actual universe is. So everybody who tried to make proclamations about the physical universe based on Bible passages got the wrong answer. So what happened was, when science discovers things and you want to stay religious, or you want to continue to believe that the Bible is unerring, what you would do is you would say, well, let me go back to the Bible and reinterpret it. You would say things like, oh, they didn't really mean that literally, they meant that figuratively. So this whole sort of reinterpretation of how figurative the poetic passages of the Bible are came after science showed that this is not how things unfolded. And so the educated religious people are perfectly fine with that. It's the fundamentalists who want to say that the Bible is the literal truth of God, and want to see the Bible as a science textbook, who are knocking on the science doors of your schools, trying to put that content in the science. Enlightened religious people are not behaving that way. They're saying, yes, science is cool, we're good with that, and use the Bible to get your spiritual enlightenment and your emotional fulfillment.
I have known serious religious people, not fundamentalists, who were scared when Carl Sagan opened his series with the words, "The cosmos is all."
All right, bro, go to the second one. Go to the second one. This is another renowned doctor,
because they
scientist, such and such. This is Dr. Bill Nye. Hey, go to the next video. That'll be my 10 minutes up.
After.
You want me to go to Bill Nye, the science guy?
Yeah, the one I just seen, the one I just showed you, the one I sent you, the one I sent you.
I was just making sure you're talking about Bill Nye, the science guy.
Yeah, the dude with so many PhDs, but he can't hold them in one hand. Yeah, that nigga.
Right.
Yeah, him. You know what I'm saying? A real scientist. Him. He just did a little show to make some side money. So stop playing. Talk about Bill Nye, the science guy. Boy, man, stop playing, bro. And for Yashar, that wasn't a pale face right there that said that. That was Neil Tyson deGrasse, a black man. So Yashar, I don't want to hear from the pale faces. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now let's get it. Now, Sister Diamond just got crushed with that one. You know, that's renowned physicists that just told you the verse that you just, I'm glad you read Genesis. Just killed you with that. Now let's go to Bill Nye right here. Yeah.
View of a worldwide flood that somehow influenced everything that we observe in nature. A 500-foot, 8 zookeepers for 14,000 individual animals, every land plant in the world underwater for a full year. I ask us all, is that really reasonable? You'll hear a lot about the Grand Canyon, I imagine, also, which is a remarkable place, and it has fossils. And the fossils in the Grand Canyon are found in layers. There is not a single place in the Grand Canyon where the fossils of one type of animal cross over into the fossils of another. In other words, when there was a big flood on the earth, you would expect drowning animals to swim up to a higher level. Not any one of them did. Not a single one. If you could find evidence of that, my friends, you could change the world. One of the extraordinary claims associated with Mr. Ham's worldview is that this giant boat, very large wooden ship, went aground safely on a mountain in the Middle East, what we now call the Middle East. And so places like Australia are populated then by animals who somehow managed to get from the Middle East all the way to Australia in the last 4,000 years. Now that to me is an extraordinary claim. We would expect then, somewhere between the Middle East and Australia, we would expect to find evidence of kangaroos. We would expect to find some fossils, some bones in the last 4,000 years. Somebody would have been hopping along there and died along the way, and we'd find them. And furthermore, there's a claim that there was a land bridge that allowed these animals to get from Asia all the way to the continent of Australia, and that land bridge has disappeared in the last 4,000 years. No navigator, no diver, no U.S. Navy submarine, no one's ever detected any evidence of this, let alone any fossils of kangaroos. So your expectation is not met, that doesn't seem to hold up. Another remarkable thing I'd like everybody to consider, inherent in this worldview, is that somehow Noah and his family were able to build a wooden ship that would house 14,000 individuals. There are 7,000 kinds, and then there's a boy and a girl for each one of those. So it's about 14,008 people. And these people were unskilled. As far as anybody knows, they had never built a wooden ship before. Furthermore, they had to get all these animals on there, and they had to feed them. And I understand that Mr. Ham has some explanations for that, which I frankly find extraordinary. But this is the premise of the bit. And we can then run a test, a scientific test. People in the early 1900s built an extraordinary large wooden ship, the Wyoming.
I'm going to give you 2 more minutes.
Six-masted schooner, the largest one ever built. It had a motor on it for winching cables and stuff. But this boat had a great difficulty. It was not as big as the Titanic, but it was a very long ship.
Let me know when I got 1 minute left.
See, it would twist this way, this way, this way. And in all that twisting, it leaked. It leaked like crazy. The crew could not keep the ship dry. And indeed, it eventually foundered and sank, lost of all 14 hands. So there were
1 minute remaining.
All right, turn it off. Hit it off. All right, now this is what I'm gonna say. Like, these are world-renowned scientists. These are people that's in the field. These are the people that's doing these experiments. These are the people that's out there actually doing this. Not I'm a welder. These people are not welders. These people get paid to do this. Dr. Neil Tyson DeGrassi, he gets paid to do this. This is his job. These are the things that these people have been studying. They've been doing for a very long time. And we just heard Dr. Neil Tyson DeGrassi, a black man, just say that no, there's no science there. Keep it out of science class. Use it for what? Your spiritual and all of that. That's cool. But it's no science. And he killed the Genesis 1. Crushed it by itself. I didn't even have to. You know, you see what I'm saying? So, I mean, like I said, if it cannot be repeated, like Dr. Bill Nye just said, and Dr. Neil Tyson DeGrassi, if it cannot be repeated, observed, and tested, then it's not science. It is what? A divine hypothesis. Something you pulled out your ASS. That's where you pulled that from. Because you are trying to tell us something that's impossible. And I'm going to elaborate more on that in the third round. You see what I'm saying? That's when I'm going to really get into it. And then, so y'all I'm gonna close shop in the third round. I'm going to chop a head off in the third round.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yo. All right, family. So, I don't know what to think about that. Right? You have Neil deGrasse and Bill Nye, the science guy, speaking against the Bible. And that was the brothers' entire second round. We had some technical difficulties. So, King Seth, I pray that you felt you was treated reasonably with that round due to those technical difficulties. Right. So
yes, you did. You did. What's up, bro? You did justice, man. I appreciate all your patience. Appreciate you, Sister Diamond. Appreciate you, Jeremiah, for doing it for me, man. You ain't have to do it, but you did it anyway. That's what's up, man. I appreciate y'all for real.
No sweat. All right, family. So now we're gonna go into the bottom of the second round. Sister Diamond, are you ready?
I'm so ready. Wow.
All right, so, it is 6:24. Right? Actually, it's 6:25. So 10 minutes, it'll be
6:35. 6:35. So go.
So King Seth played 2 videos for his second round. Okay? Family, how weak does your scholarship have to be that you have to play 2 videos in your second round, and then you're gonna waste our time on the last minute talking about some unbelievers? Let's get to this science. All right, let's look at Genesis 1:14. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years." Okay, so they use sundials to tell the time. You'd have to tell the time by the sun, right? So that is observational science, right? And they put it to the test by actually making a mechanism in order to tell time. But right here, we see in Genesis 1:14 how the Most High made time itself, right? It's observation. Observation. I mean, it kills that. Genesis 1:7. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. Isaiah 40:22. Isaiah 40:22. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. So again, I'm going to use observational science again to show that the firmament was discovered by scientists and explorers around the world. Okay, so many of you probably have already heard about Admiral Byrd. So I'm going to go ahead and touch on some of the operations and missions that he led. Okay, so he led the mission of Operation High Jump in 1946 to 1947. If you don't know about this, it's very interesting. It was a world race to stake claim on the outermost regions of the world. It was reported that during this mission, that to the poles, that airplanes crashed into an invisible shield, making it impossible to go any further in that exploration. Okay, let's talk about the second operation, Operation Fishbowl. Okay, that one took place in 1958. And pay attention to the names of these operations, family. Come on. And you got to use the Bible to link these things up. So this one's Operation Fishbowl. Ask yourself questions. Why? Okay, that one took place in 1958, where they took 30 high altitude nukes and launched them straight in the air. Straight in the air. So I'd encourage you to go and look into that. But let's look at Job 37:18. See what they were trying to do. Job 37:18. Okay, so hast thou with him spread out the sky, which is strong, and as a molten looking glass. Job 37:18. Let's say that one more time. Hast thou with him spread out the sky, which is strong, and as a molten looking glass. So when they're firing these missiles straight up in the air, you know, come on, man. I mean, just pay attention, family. Y'all really gotta, people, we all have our due diligence of looking and seeing what's going on in this world. We really gotta pay attention. Okay, I want to touch on color. Let's talk about spectrum of light. Okay, so in the Kingfisher Visual Fact Finder, it's a really good book. It defines that there are 3 primary colors when mixing up light. Okay, we're talking about light here, and we're not talking about paint at this moment, but light. Okay, so the primary colors of light are red, green, and blue. Okay, added together, the primary colors make up white light. So if you were to take a red light, a green light, and a blue light and put them all at one point, shine them on one point, you would get a white light. Okay, so we learned very early in art class that the primary colors in paint are red, blue, and yellow. And with those colors, you can make all the colors of the rainbow, right? All right, keep that in mind. So the sun is a great light that rules the day. Okay, talks about that in Genesis, right? So now that we know that primary light colors are red, green, and blue, which makes white light, we now know that primary colors make up all the colors of the rainbow again, okay? We can then use scientific reasoning to substantiate that the light waves from the sun travel and refract off of the firmament in order for us to see the spectrum of light. We're able to then see a rainbow, okay? If you were to do a scientific experiment on this, and you can look them up on YouTube, there's no way that you can see a rainbow without it refracting off of something, okay? It has to refract off of something in order for you to actually see a rainbow. Now, what it's refracting off of, again, is the firmament, okay? Genesis 9 and 12. And thank you, Jeremiah. I see you. I appreciate that. This is 9 and 12. All right. And God said, "This is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations." I'm going to go on to 13. "I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth." Right? Okay. So let's talk about Leviticus 15 and 13. Let's get Leviticus 15 and 13. All right. Let's get into the medical portion. Right? Leviticus 15 and 13. "And when that hath an issue is cleansed of his issue, then he shall number to himself 7 days for his cleansing, and wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in running water, and shall be clean." All right. So according to the Encyclopedia Angus Semmelweis, in 1845, there was a practice that was being done by doctors where they were washing their hands in bowls. I know a lot of y'all know about this. They were not cleansing, they were not washing themselves or washing their hands underneath running water. But we see here in Leviticus 15 and 13 that the Most High tells us that thousands of years ago in the Bible, and had they have used that information, they would have saved, plenty of lives, several lives. But instead, they lost a lot of women, and they died of giving birth at alarming numbers because they didn't use the information found here in Leviticus 15 and 13, the science in the Bible, to use running water. You know, King Seth, he wants to come here with his weak scholarship for and play 2 videos. I wonder if he's gonna play 3 videos in the next round. Where is your scholarship? 6:35.
1 minute remaining.
All right, cool. Let's get into oceanography. James 3:11. James 3:11. All right. Doth the fountain send forth at the same place sweet water and bitter? I'm gonna go on to 12. I'm gonna go through go to 13. Can the fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries, either a vine figs? So can no fountain both yield salt water and fresh water. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him shoot out of a good conversation his words with meekness of wisdom. Right? So there are places in the world, throughout the world, in the oceans that will not mix with one another. They will not mix. Let's see why. Proverbs 8:29.
Hold that thought, sis.
All right.
All right. Okay. 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 Where is your scholarship? Right? So the information that both sides brought out, powerful points. You have modern day doctors, scientists, modern day scientists, well decorated scientists that have a problem with the Bible and trying to bring science in the Bible. Neil deGrasse says those things should remain separate, right? But the sister came behind the brother and brought forth certain levels of science that's actually there, dealing with the spectrums of light, dealing with the scientist's understanding of purification and the washing of hands, right? This is a powerful, powerful discussion, and I'm excited. I'm excited about this third and final round. So what I want you all to do that in the audience, I want you to get your questions ready. I want you to get your questions ready because we want to allow you to speak. And we're even going to allow you to call in and talk to these debaters and question them directly, right? So, you judges, hey, this is all on you. And let's be true to the discussion. I want my judges to be true to the discussion. Either way you go, let's look at the information and weigh the information. Don't weigh the information because this is what you know. I know the Bible, and so therefore I know this. We want you to be true to this debate. All right? On both sides. All right, so those that are in the audience, get your questions ready. King Seth, are you ready?
Man, like Pope, man, say, man, come on.
Huh?
Man, come on, man, I'm ready, man.
All right, let's go.
All right, now, she's talking about where's the scholarship. Well, the scholarship is the same scholarship as those. All right, well, scholarship is the same exact thing that they got. That's called a scientific method. When 3 or more people do a testing and they come up with the same thing, 9 times out of 10, man, hey, that's called a scientific method, man. So I don't understand what you mean weak. But hey, go to my slides, and we gonna go to my slides, and what we gonna deal with, y'all. We gonna deal with. Let's get into intent. Let's get into intent. Now, ask yourself: was the Bible written in scientific thought? No, it wasn't. It wasn't dealing with scientific thought. The Bible was written in to prove a philosophy of the God. It was written with supernatural intent in order to show proof of a supernatural entity. The literature clearly states and insists on faith and belief in order to show approval. You dig what I'm saying? So nah, not that one. Go to so the intent of the Bible wasn't even meant on scientific observation or saying you can do it again. That was the point. To believe in to be right there. To believe in something that you cannot see. Now we got, let's see what is, let me see, hold on, let me go to my stuff. What is science? One way to this is the what is science? This is the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. This was written January 17, 2017. And like I said, these are the same thing that other people are coming up with, scientists, actual real scientists that do this. You see what I'm saying? So the intent of the Bible wasn't even written for scientific purposes. It was written in order for you to have faith. And we can go to several scriptures. Let me go to one. Let's go to John 20:29 when it talks about blind faith. Jesus saith unto Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Blessed are they that they have not seen and yet have believed. Let's go to Proverbs 14-15. The simple belief, every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 4, verse 18.
I'm trying
While
to
we look not at,
you're going fast, but I'll let you rock. My bad. Go ahead.
oh yeah, I'm just going. They can go back and see it. They can go back and get these scriptures.
My bad. Do your thing, bro.
Yeah, nigga, I'm rocking. You know what I'm saying? While we look not unto the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. She read that same verse. And that verse is blind faith. It means blind faith. So the writing and the intent and the philosophy behind the Bible was not even for it to be scientific. It was written so you can believe in a God and in a philosophy. And I think everybody would agree because it's speaking about spirituality. It's not speaking about things that you can repeat at all. Let's go to the next slide. This is another study. This is another study of the of what they did. Let's see. Let me go to my slide on here. This is from Plato Stanford.edu. You know, they did a field on science and religion. And you know, you can go back, I ain't got time to read all that, you know what I'm saying? But basically, this end round is about intent. Remember the intent. Because that's what Hebrews, Christians, everybody that believe in the Bible, they'll tell you, I got faith. Even if you ask them a scientific question, brother, it's about faith. You have to believe in order to show yourself approved. And I think everybody would agree. She said, the narrative of the Bible, when it says the rainbow, it was meant as a sign to say that the Most High wouldn't flood the earth again. The intent was not even scientific. It was illustrated for the reader to believe it was illustrated for the reader to believe that's why it speaks of things that can't be repeated, that can't be done, to make you believe, to say, hey, this is the God. Remember, and matter of fact, in the Old Testament, how many times did it say, remember what I did for you in Egypt? Remember this? So it's saying, nigga, I'm God. I did this. This is written with no scientific thought behind it. It wasn't intent. It wasn't wrote like that. The literature simply does not play out it like that. It plays out like a Shakespeare play. It's read like a Shakespeare play. This is not a science book. It has nothing to do with science in it. Like Neil deGrasse just said, and you can do the scientific method if you believe the way I believe, or if you know like I know, then you will say the same thing that Neil deGrasse Tyson said. Man, keep it for your spirituality, for your character, your personality. But this is not science because it wasn't intended to be science in the first place. It was intent for you to believe and to do the things in it so God wouldn't punish you unless you're gonna be cursed, unless you're gonna be like this. So see, I almost went to sleep reading what she was reading, man. I ain't gonna lie, cause she's speaking of rainbows, and we all what the rainbow mean in the Bible. So all that bumping your jaws and skinning and grinning and whatnot, that ain't that ain't work, because people that know better know that the intent of the Bible wasn't even wrote like that. So that's why there's no science in it, basically. And everybody on this phone, everybody that's watching, everybody that's in this chat can agree it wasn't supposed to make you think scientific. So why would I consider it science? It's strictly a belief, because you cannot repeat God saying, "Let there be light." Can I see that again? Well, how you know that happened? What did the voice sound like? Is it deep? Is it light? What kind? I got questions. That's because you cannot repeat it. So therefore, it's not science. It's a belief, because the intent of it is a belief. So you have divine hypothesis. You have the experts in round two. But that's why I let it play, because those two people are renowned scientists, man. These people do this for a living. These people get paid to do this, and they like doing it. When you love doing what you do, then you good at it. And then that was a black man. She say 2 videos. Where's your scholarship? Hey, I got the same results they got. I got the same exact results they got. So now what? There's 3 people, 2 people with degrees and an amateur right here that said, hey, I agree with them. Hey, say it makes sense. Because like I said in the first, if you go back to round 1, I showed you what scientific was, to make a logical argument. You put with God said, let there be light, and tell nobody to believe you. Trying to how can it be science when you trying to convince me of a virgin birth? When you trying to convince me that fire can burn a bush and not consume it? That's not science. That's strictly on a belief. Strictly on a belief. And like you say, and like I be told all the time by Hebrew Israelites, Christians, man, you gotta have faith, man. You gotta believe. First thing come out your mouth. It ain't about all that, brother. I used to get pinched in high school. You know what I'm saying? When I'm in my grandmama, such and such. Boy, you ain't supposed to ask them questions. It ain't meant for you questioning God. When you ask logical questions, it's not meant for it to be logical. It's meant for you to believe. And everybody know it. That's why my whole third round is gonna be on these. Intent. The intent of the Bible is not even written to be scientific. So why is she trying to prove that it's science? And she shouldn't even be arguing this point. I should win by default. Just because she even came up with that. Because you explain it. You can't explain how a kangaroo got back from Israel. You can't explain it without saying some pseudoness. No. But hey, this shop closed, man. I was man, like that was too easy. This sliced bread, man. I'm talking about with warm butter. Hey, man, that was too easy, man. I mean, I ain't got nothing else to say, man. Case closed, man. You know what I'm saying? Drop the mic.
That's it.
Drop the mic. Drop the man. That's it, man. I'm done, man. That's too easy, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. It's too easy, man. It's too easy. Come on, man. It's too easy, man.
All right.
I hope she come with something more than that. Snort them. You know what I'm saying? Don't put me to sleep no more, man. Say something exciting.
Family. So get your questions ready. Get your questions ready. We got a lot of people watching, man. All praises. to the Most High for the support. Hit the like button, family. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, Y'all World 777. Right? We, the Lions Den, are in making preparations. Set up a YouTube channel for the Lions Den. Right? So we're gonna be making that transition. But for right now, support the channel, man. Y'all World 777. NYMT on Facebook. Right? All right, family. So we're at the bottom of the third. We at the bottom of the third. Sister Diamond, are you ready?
I was born ready.
That's what I'm talking about. Right? That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's go. The time is 6:50. Got till 6:51. Got till 7:01. Let's go.
So Seth has the burden of proof. He has to prove that there is no science in the Bible. He has to prove that. Now, what he gave you was weak scholarship in the second round with 2 videos. And in the last round, he had the nerve to sit there and rant and had no information. We're gonna go fast because I got a lot to bring out. All right. So let's go ahead and finish up on the oceanography. Now in Proverbs 8:29, let's get that. Proverbs 8:29. And Judges, pay attention, please pay attention to this. He cut his own time in the first round. And in the third round, he cut his own time. I'm coming out, I'm swinging, and I'm banging to the very last minute. Proverbs 8:29. When he gave to the sea his decree that the waters could not pass his commandment, when he appointed the foundations of the earth. So, family, you can look this up on YouTube or on Google or whatever search engine that you want to, but there are places through the earth, in the oceans, the fresh water will not mix with salt water, because we learned that in Proverbs 8:29 that the Most High gave its decree. It's going to do what He says for it to do. So if you have the time to do that, fam, I really encourage you to go ahead and do that. Let's get into agriculture. All right. So we know that the first humans were Hebrew, right? The man was Adam, and he was a Hebrew. And the name of the earth was Adama, according to Hebrew. So being that Adam came from the earth, and the Hebrew name Adama is from the Hebrew, meaning that he came from the earth. Okay, so we can find a link in Genesis 2:7 to that. Genesis 2:7.
Where we going, sis?
Genesis 2:7.
Done.
And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And the man became a living soul, right? So also the Hebrews were just natural farmers. Being that they came from the earth, being that we came from the earth, they were natural farmers. Let's talk about the annual cycle. Okay, the annual cycle went hand in hand with farmers, with the feast days, right? So the feast days of the Passover and of unleavened bread were celebrated at the beginning of barley harvest, right? So basically what the Hebrews did in the earth coincided with the seasons. That's what I'm saying, family. All right. So let's look at that in 2 Samuel 21:9. The feast of the Passovers and unleavened bread celebrated at the beginning of barley harvest. They coincided with agriculture, the feast days. 2 Samuel 21:9.
Say again.
2 Samuel 21:9. Give me a second, fam. (21:9). All right, let's see how the feast days went along with agriculture here. And he delivered them into the hands of the Gibeonites, and they hanged them in the hill before the Lord, and they fell all 7 together and were put to death in the days of harvest, in the first days, in the beginning of barley harvest. Right? So 50 days later came Pentecost. Okay, and that's wheat. That's when wheat harvest will begin. That's in Exodus 34 and 22. Let's look at that. Exodus 34 and 22, talking about agriculture. (34 and 22). And thou hast observed the feast of weeks of the first fruits of wheat harvest, and the feast of ingathering at the year's end. Okay, also the Feast of Tabernacles took place when the harvest was complete. That's in Deuteronomy 16 and 13 and 14. Also, fam, if you can pull this up, Jeremiah, there's a Gezer calendar. It's that artifact. Basically, the Hebrews wrote this on this calendar. It was basically a calendar to show you when we would do agriculture at different times of the season. The Gezer calendar. Can you get that, brother?
Trying to get it now.
All righty. Gezer calendar. If you can't, that's okay. We'll go ahead and move on. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Let's go to Jacob's sheep. All right. Let's talk about the first breeding process that we see here in Genesis 30 and 37. First breeding process, Genesis 30 and 37. And Jacob took him rods of green poplar and the hazel and chestnut tree, and peeled white streaks in them, and made the white appear which was in the rods.
My bad. And Genesis what?
Genesis 30 and 37 through 43. Okay. 37 through 43. All righty. We're at 38. And he set the rods which he had peeled before the flocks in the gutters, in the watering troughs. When the flocks came to drink, they should conceive when they came to drink. And the flocks conceived before the rods and brought forth cattle ring straight, speckled, and spotted. And Jacob did separate the lambs and set the faces of the flocks toward the ring straight, and all the brown in the flock of Laban. And he put his own flocks by themselves and put them not unto Laban's cattle. 41. And it came to pass whensoever the stronger cattle did conceive, that Jacob laid the rods before the eyes of the cattle in the gutters, that they might conceive among the rods. But When the cattle were feeble, he put them not in, so the feebler were Laban's and the stronger Jacob's. And the man increased exceedingly and had much cattle and maidservants and men servants and camels and asses. Brother, can you pull up Jacob's sheep? Even today, when Jacob when he breeded these sheep, and they came out ring streaked and speckled and spotted, that is still a sheep known today, and it's Jacob's sheep. That's the name of it. Brother, are you able to pull up a picture of Jacob's sheep?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Okay, so next we're going to go into biology after you see Jacob's sheep family. So pay attention to what Jacob did.
There they go. It's on the screen.
There it is. Boom. He breeded that. He did that. Right? So let's go to biology. All right. Leviticus 17 and 11. Leviticus 17 and 11.
One minute remaining.
For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul. All right. So the life of the flesh is in the blood, right? The Most High had all this information here in the Bible thousands of years ago, but due to doctors' ignorance, they were bloodletting, and they were allowing people, they were taking the blood out of people's bodies rather than replenishing the blood as we do today. But the Most High told us that in Leviticus 17 and 11 that there is life in flesh in the blood. Okay, because it carries nourishment to every cell, right? And it maintains body temperature. All right, let's go to biogenesis. Let's go to Genesis 1 and 11. Genesis 1 and 11. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so, right? Genesis 1 and 21. And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good. That just killed Darwinism. Okay? That just killed that.
Yo, what's good, family? What's good? That was it on the rounds. Now we're going to transition, right? And I want you judges, man, listen, to be paying very close attention to this question and answer round. They're going to be questioning each other on some of the information that they brought forth. It's very important that you judges understand the topic of this debate, which is what? Is there science in the Bible? Not is the Bible all science, but is there science in the Bible? That's the name of this debate. So it's very important that you judges pay close attention to that and listen. At the end of the day, we have to weigh out the information. We have to weigh out the debaters' deliveries. We have to weigh out the information that was presented today. All right. So it's very important that you all understand this. All right. So all up here. That's King Seth. Just dropped off. We're missing somebody.
Jesus Black, where you at, man? All right, so now we're going to transition, right, into the question and answer segment. King Seth, you opened up the debate, so we're going to let Sister Diamond ask the first question, right? So are you brothers and sisters ready? Diamond and King Seth, you both are on mute. Your mics are muted. Unmute your mic so y'all can talk to me, family.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. What's going down?
Right, King Seth, you there?
Yeah, I'm right here, man.
All right, so listen. I want you brothers and sisters in the audience to get your questions ready. Get your questions ready. We're gonna let you question the brothers and sisters before we go to the judges. Before we go to the judges, I'm gonna open up the phone lines and let you all call in, right? And or post your questions in the comment board. All right. So Diamond, it's on you. Every person has 2 minutes to answer a question. All right. Diamond, you're on mute.
I would ask King Seth, how did you prove that there is no science in the Bible? How did you prove that? What fact did you come up? What fact, what scholarship did you have? I missed out on that. Can you please enlighten me?
Well, why the reason probably why you missed out because you was listening too slow. Maybe I talked too fast, but you need to hurry up and listen. You see what I'm saying? So the thing about what I proved was how I proved it was showing that even the intent wasn't for it to be scientific. What they did was not scientific. All it was just a guess and they saying that it's from a higher power. That's not science. That is nowhere near close to science. You should know that. That is not nowhere near the definition of science. You said something about those goats from Jacob. Man, those goats are from Europe. When you look up the goat, I just looked up the goat while you said it. It's from Europe. Went to Ireland. They said it came off of a Spanish ship. So that's not science. What he did, he had something and eat something, and you talking. That's a miracle. That could never happen in science. Never. They have to mate, not look at something. Goats do not mate like that. They mate by scent, smell, not looking at something or eating something, and they get in the mood. No, they don't do that. So that's not scientific. So you talking about shut down? No, you shut down. Stop. That's nowhere near science.
All right, King
That's how I
Seth,
proved it.
it's your turn to ask a question.
Okay, you said the burden of proof is on me. How was the burden of proof on me to get me to believe in things repeated? In life, be observed, tested, and measured, and experimented on. How do I have the burden of proof when you're telling me these miraculous things?
All right, I didn't just talk about what you deem as miraculous things. Now, I want you to try for years not to wash your hands underneath running water and see what that does for you. I don't know where you were at, but apparently you weren't paying attention. You know, it's more. There's more. There's nothing but science in the Bible. We can take observational science and look at what the Most High did in creation. We can see that you have eyes to see. You got to use them. You know, you have a brain to think. You have to put these. You know, trace these dots. Put everything together. Like you said, it's observation. That's how we
I
know.
do, and
You look at it, and then you do scientific experiments. It's just like we talk about cymatics. That's what they're doing with sound and sound waves when God spoke. See, you have faith as well. You make it seem as though you don't have faith. But you have blind faith every day. You have faith when you get in your car and you put your seatbelt on that you're not going to crash, right? So you have faith, or blind faith, however you want to put it. You use it on a day-to-day basis.
Right. All right, Sister Diamond, it's your turn. You're on mute, Diamond.
So you don't believe in the Bible? I want to ask you that. Do you believe in the Bible itself? Yes or no?
Like as far as believing it, what you mean that God spoke and created the plants and He did all that? You mean like all that miraculous stuff? No, but maybe the principles and the philosophies are cool. Some of them are all right, but nah. As far as Noah riding on the boat and fish swallowing men, no. Donkeys talking, no.
All right, King Steph.
Okay. The narrative of the Bible is for somebody to believe. Is in order for them, the intent of it is for those people to believe what's written and have, so they can have faith in their God. How can you, as a scientist, argue with that premise and try to rebut that there is science when the intent is not even for it to be science?
Boy, I just told you. We're using observational science. We went through biology. We went through what? We went through breeding process. We went through agriculture. We went through physics. We went through all types of science. We went through a plethora. You know what I'm saying? You have to use your thought process. We went through oceanography. You know, these things have been, we also had artifacts on here. You know, you have to use your brain, brother, and put one and two together. There's too many things found in the Bible, and it's clear, from Sodom and Gomorrah and a pillar of salt, from Noah's Ark on Mount Arak. It's there. The indention and the proof is there. You have to look into it exactly where it said that boat was going to end and stop. That is where it stopped, and that is the indention and the imprint that the Most High left there. You're gonna have to use your.
So you saying that people? So you saying that people can actually turn into pillars of salt? This is what you're saying.
I'm saying whatever.
This is what you're trying to convince me of.
To you. No,
that's not what I asked.
Is that one of your questions, brother? You got one question?
Yeah, that's one of my questions. That's my question. Are you? Hold on. Let me clarify my question. Let me clarify my question, baby. Because this man, like Jeremiah Judah said, man, this debate over with, man. I won this, man. But I want to know: are you meaning to tell me that people can actually turn into pillars of salt? Is this what you trying to convince me of? This is what you're telling me.
I don't have to convince you of anything. What you need to do is you need to repent and pray. You know, I believe what the Most High says. That's what because I'm not. I believe whatever He says He's gonna do, He will do. That's what I believe. I believe in the Bible, and I believe in the Most High's word. I believe in His work. I believe in His creation. I believe in that.
All right. Diamond, go ahead with your question. I'm going to post my number on the screen. If anybody want to call in, I'm going to allow you to call in.
All right. I got something. If you can get your self together there. They're going to call me the King. All right. Now, what evidence, listen closely. What evidence do Bill and I have to prove that kangaroo was not on the ark? Okay? If he can't prove it, We have to expect the evidence of kangaroos being hybrid, right? Man-made animals, right? So how can you prove, basically, how can you prove that there was no animals on the ark and that the ark did not exist?
Easy, because first of all, the man was 800 years old. That's first. The man was 800 years old. And he said he built a boat that had every animal on the planet on this boat. And he built it with three men, his sons, to house every animal. Okay. Bill Nye has this, like he said, you can go back and look at the video. What he said, it would leak. Where did they get the skills from? All of a sudden, now they boat builders.
Got you in the queue.
Now they can build boats that can house animals for a year. Come on, man, that makes no sense.
Yo, I got you in the queue. I'll bring you on in a minute.
Yeah, how can you explain that? How can you explain a sloth from South America getting to the Middle East? That's the evidence. What you mean? This is ridiculous. That's a ridiculous question.
All right, family.
We know they didn't have nothing on there.
We got.
Oh, can y'all keep going out long?
We got some callers. Let me turn them up loud so y'all can hear them.
Yeah. I know probably number Hebrew.
I'll take a caller. All right, caller, state your name, where you're calling from, and who is your question for?
Shalom, shalom. Brother Judah the Shooter, calling out of St. Louis, and my question is for Mr. Kyng Seth.
Right, bring it out.
You already know.
Hey, Seth, you there?
Yeah, I'm right here, man.
Hey, Seth.
I'm right here, man. You can't hear me? Man, you can't hear me?
Hey, Jeremiah, we can hear King Seth.
Here,
I don't know if you can hear him or not.
No, you real low. Take the damn mask off, brother. What the hell's wrong with you?
Man, I ain't got the fucking mask on.
It looks like I probably have to listen on my device.
Hey, I know. Listen, the phone lines.
Hey, King Seth, you might have to go out and come back in, bro.
I'm going to transition as quickly as I can. If you call in, it's busy. Call back in a minute. Go ahead,
I can't hear me, bro. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Judah.
Okay, cool. So, all right. So just to make sure before I ask, I can be heard, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, this is for the brother King Seth. Basically, in a nutshell, you were saying that the Bible is not science, but in a nutshell, you were saying that things have yet to be observed, tested, and measured. You said that you believe in some things in the Bible, which means that you do agree that there is some sort of intelligence in the Bible. Am I correct with that, brother?
No, you're not correct. I said as far as the philosophies and some of the morals of living are okay. I know he can hear me, bro. You can't hear me.
Is he saying something?
No, he ain't saying
can you hear me?
You at,
yes, man, I'm right here, man.
King Seth, do this. King Seth, do this. Go out and come back in.
Yeah, because I'm hearing him.
Y'all can hear me now?
I hear you.
Can y'all hear me now? I hear you too.
You got other devices on, you watching and debating.
Nah, bro, my phone off, bro.
Nah, bro, hey, King Seth, just go out and come back in.
Turn your phone off. We can see you on the camera, but we can't hear you.
I bet. I'm gonna go back.
Why y'all can't hear him?
Hold on, he gonna hang up and he gonna come back in, bro. He gonna come right back.
We hearing them loud and clear.
For those that are calling in,
but the host gotta be able to hear him.
That's fair. That's fair.
I just want to say, awesome debate, family. Hey, Diamond, For this to be your first debate, hey, you did your thing. For this to be your very first debate, hey, absolutely.
Thank you.
I just want to add just a little punchline here. If y'all didn't know any better, you would swear these two was married, and you'd have to call 911 because there's all kind of domestic violence in that house.
Yeah, I beat him down with the Bible.
Listen, man, for those that are watching, we got the Source Lion Den t-shirts for sale. DM me or contact me, and we will get you taken care of, man. Hold up, I got a call. Hold up, Judah.
Okay.
Caller, who's your question for?
King Seth.
Okay, we waiting on him to we waiting on him to get back in. Caller that's calling from the 646. Please be patient. We're gonna get to you. All right, give us a few minutes and call right back. All right. Hey, Greg Phillips, man, where's Seth at, man? What's going on? Oh, there you go. There you go.
I don't know. There you go. I'm finna say, because I could definitely fill in and ask a question or two.
Seth,
but yeah, there you go.
Man, what's going on, brother?
Man, I wish I was taking notes, man.
You're on mute. We can't hear you.
Man, Greg, you ain't taking no notes, man. What's going on, man?
We can't hear you.
I got about 13, 14 things in my mind, man. I've been Googling, screenshotting.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
King Heretic, what you
I got a whole little spiel.
All the way up to this point.
With my vote.
I only took a couple of notes, and I don't know if they're worth anything, though.
I know.
Hopefully, I hit all the pressure points, though.
Unmuting, and you still ain't got no sound. So something's going on. Hey, Diamond, are you still there?
Yo.
Hey, Seth, say something
Hey,
again.
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear, bro. Hey, Judah, can you hear him? Go ahead, Seth. Hey, Judah, go ahead with your question, All
right. So just to make sure before I rock, Seth, you can hear me, correct? King Seth?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can y'all hear me? I bet.
We can hear you,
All right. So let me mute this real quick. All right. So just in a nutshell, before I get started with the initial question, I just want to make sure, you know what I'm saying, you did say that it's not science in the Bible. In a nutshell, one of your points was that about things having to be observed, tested, and measured. And you also said that you believe in some things in the Bible, which would mean that you agree that there is some sort of intelligence in the Bible, seeing that you believe in some of the things in it, correct?
No, because what I was saying was I believe in some of maybe the philosophy.
Hello?
Yeah, your sound dropped off, Seth.
Hello?
Yeah, we still here. We just waiting on Seth to come back.
Okay.
Hey, Black Jesus, I see you calling, bro. Just give us a second. We're gonna get to you.
Oh yeah. Hey man, I don't even know even when there were our debate, man, them hotlines wasn't ringing like that, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah, hey man, the phones is lighting up, bro. I ain't gonna hold you up. Phone's lighting up right now, man. Hey, Seth. Turn your mic on, Seth. Now I'm trying to get to Judah's question, man. There you go. There you go, Seth. I can hear you now.
Go ahead, Seth.
Can you hear me?
Brother. Go ahead, build on that. What would you say?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you out.
I was saying, I believe in some of the philosophies or something like that, but that's man. You know what I'm saying? That's man. That's not no belief in no God. So I don't believe in that no science in the Bible. That's philosophy. That comes from the ideas from the brain of man. So no, I wouldn't agree.
So Judah, he said basically that the wisdom comes from man. The wisdom that's in the Bible.
Okay, so he said
now, yeah, he's saying the wisdom that's in the Bible comes from man.
All right. So dealing with the word philosophy alone, it comes from the Greek word philosophical, which means a love of wisdom, which means regardless of who he's saying that it comes from, he is now acknowledging that there is intelligence in the Bible.
Right.
Even if he's using the word philosophy. So regardless if he believes that it's inspired by who we call God, or if you want to call it Elohim or Elohim, regardless of what he is acknowledging where it comes from, he's just acknowledged that there is some sort of intelligence or knowledge in the Bible. When you're dealing with the word philosophy,
okay, well, if you make it that point, then I agree with you.
You agree with that?
Well, if you making that point like that, like you saying that, yeah, because I'm thinking you talking about higher intelligence, like you talking about God in space. I'm talking the Most High. Now, if you talking about just any intelligence, yes, of course it's a book. Of course it has some intelligence behind it.
All right. So now, with that being said, brother, now this goes into one of the questions that I wanted to bring out in Daniel chapter 1 and verse 4. When the children of Israel, when we were in captivity in Babylon, all right, I'm going to read this really quick. I'm going to read 3 and 4. It says, "And the king spake unto Aspenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel, and of the king's seed, and of the princes." Verse 4, it says, "Children in whom was no blemish, but well favored, and skillful in all wisdom, and cunning and knowledge, and understanding science." So even when you look at that word science, it comes from the Hebrew word, or the word madah. And in that word, you have the word yadah, which means knowledge. It means intelligence. It means consciousness, knowledge. So based off your argument alone, you lose, because you just admitted that philosophy in the Bible. And going and building on my case in point, what I'm bringing out in Genesis, the first chapter, and I won't be long because I know other people have called, but in Genesis 1, it says in the beginning. Now, when you stop there, from a scientific standpoint, beginning consists of what? Past, present, and future. Then it goes on to say God. The word God and Elohim is power. And from a scientific aspect, what does powers consist of? Positive, negative, and neutron, which is the ground. But then what is it the powers created? The heaven. What does it create? What does the heaven consist of? Space. And according to science, what does space consist of? Length, width, and depth. So then
what's up? Man, I'm on this debate, bro.
The earth consists of
I'm on this debate. I'm gonna hit your bait.
It consists of solid, liquid, and gas. So just dealing with the Bible alone, that's knowledge, that's intelligence. These are things that are something that, based on what you were saying, that has been what? It has been tested, it has been observed, and these are things that has been measured. Even when we talked about the word God said, "Let there be light." The Hebrew word for the Hebrew word abracadabra means "I will create as I speak."
God damn, bro.
I appreciate it, Judah. Let me get to these other callers, bro.
God damn, my G.
All right, here we go. Appreciate you holding. Appreciate you holding.
You want to take the debate, man. Part 2.
Hold up, man.
Man, you heard that shit, man? I'm like, damn, bro.
State your name.
I thought this nigga gonna let this nigga go.
What's going on? This is your brother Mugabe calling from Los Angeles.
Mugabe, hold that thought, man. I got somebody that's been on hold, and I'll be right back with you.
Oh no.
Heretic in the building.
That's fucked
hold
up.
up, fam. All right, so this brother's been waiting. So come on with your question, bro.
So this brother Quaderis, man, from Atlanta, Georgia. My question is for King Seth.
Yeah.
And he in regards to a point he made.
What's the question you on that debate?
Hey, mute your mic, family. Mute your mic. I can hear you some background noise.
All right, go ahead.
In regards to his comment about science being able to be repeated and testable and verified, do you hold that same premise when it comes to the Big Bang Theory? Because Big Bang states that all things that we know of this reality that we can observe and test and perform all kinds of science experiments on, this Big Bang Theory states all of that came from an explosion of a singularity. How can scientists recreate this process to verify this, to make it, as your understanding, valid science?
Right, I appreciate your question, bro. Let me get to another caller. All right, King Seth, you heard his question, right?
Yeah, they already did it at CERN, bro. It's called splitting atoms. They already did it. Look it up. So, I mean, you say, how can they recreate it? They did it. They split atoms. They already did it, bro. They split atoms already.
A split atom is atom today is not from the singularity from the start of creation. An atom today is the byproduct of the explosion from the initial singularity. So they would have to have the first initial singularity to test, to verify that the atoms we have present today all come from this original singularity. So without that original singularity, any test don't hold to the initial claim that this is the start of it. Not two protons being collided together, but these protons came from this initial explosion.
Hey, this Cordoba's?
Yeah.
Yo, what's going on? Yo, Corderis. Lucky, what's going on, brother? I appreciate your question, man. Let me get to the next caller.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Boy, that want to get on here.
All right, so the lines are clear, man. Y'all need to call back in. Those that was trying to get in, call back in right now. The lines are clear. All right. So, we're going to do this for a couple of more minutes, man. Then we're going to get to the judges, man, and get this thing on up out of here. We're going to take a few more callers, man. Then we're going to end the open lines, man. So if you want to get in, the lines are clear now. All right, we got a caller. Caller, state your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, I'm calling from Alabama. I'm in Alabama right now. Like Israel.
Yo, Shalom, Mark. What's going on?
Yeah, Shalom, Mark. Yeah, Maya and Brother Judah. I'm gonna just get right to it. This question for King Seth. Peace to you, brothers. Yeah, you said that science deals with a repeat, like a repeated cycle, right? Something that's observable and able to be repeated, right?
Hey, hold on 1 second, bro.
Yeah.
1 second, bro. I got you. I got you in the queue. I'll be right back to you, caller. All right, bro. My apologies. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, King, peace to you. Yeah, I'm Kazakh Israel. Yeah, I just had a question for you, King, Seth.
All right, that's a bit.
Deal with something that's a repeated cycle, something that's observable and that could be repeated, right?
Yeah, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? That's scientific method. Yeah, I would, so. I get like 64 here, like what you said, but yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so each day you wake up in the morning and you go outside, that's another repeat of saying creation outside. Is that correct?
Woo! That's right,
Yeah.
All right, I'm done. Peace, everybody. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.
I don't understand what point he to.
Balling and crawling.
What's happening? How y'all feel?
Yo, Black Jesus Minister in the building. What's going on, Hot?
Oh, nothing much, bro. Can I chime in?
Yeah, come on with it. Who's your question for?
I just have a comment of everybody and who I thought won and why I believe they won. To Brother King said, I think you would have won this debate if the title would have been, is there science in biblical miracles? Is there science in Bible miracles? You would have won this debate, bro. But I give the debate to the sister. Congratulations on the first debate. Now, she barely won this debate because she almost lost it with me when she started talking about this flat earth nonsense. So when she started hitting on that dumbass, I almost totally gave it to King Seth. She proves out. Now, again, Brother King Seth, the reason why the title defeated you, brother, the title of the debate is there science in the Bible? So if there's science in the Bible, all she had to prove was one thing. All she had to prove was one item, even though there are many items of science in the Bible. Now, where she won this debate, King Seth, is number one. She mentioned about health, the science of health and running water. The scripture about saying that you should clean your hands with running water versus stagnant water. That is the science of health, and that is even spoken to this very day regarding the coronavirus and also keep your hands clean. And this is what they do also in surgery, in the hospital, brother. So this is health science that is utilized this very day, and that's one scientific fact that she mentioned, she pulled out. Another scientific aspect of the Bible that she brought out was agriculture, how the Israelites at certain feast days and certain times and seasons that they knew when to plant and when to reap and all that sort of stuff. That's number two.
I got a caller coming in, Black Jesus. Go ahead and wrap it up. I appreciate you.
Okay, one more. Okay, and then also the scripture that you almost, the sister almost didn't bring it out. The scripture about where it says that the unseen things are more real than the things that are seen, which are temporal. Dear sister, the next time, bring it out a little bit better, dear sister. And all you got to say is that scripture refers to the unseen, microscopic, and atomic world to make up everything that exists. Atoms and microscopic organisms. These things are more real, and these things look up that which is real that we see in the macro world that we live in. So a good debate, dear sister and brother Seth. Sister, next time, it's not your opponent's burden to prove the Bible is scientific. It is always your burden of proof to prove that the Bible is scientific. Good debate.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it, brother. All right, one more caller. Caller, state your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, this is JJ 7000, People's Champ calling from the Lions Den.
People's Champ in the building, man. What's going on?
Yeah, the People's Champ had to make a claim strip. I tell you what, hey, I was against this intergender thing with the women debating men. But after what I've seen today, hey, we're going to do this more often. Hey, I'm not. If a woman want to debate a man, I don't got no problem with it.
There you go.
Speaking of that, hey, Black Jesus Minister, Sister Tracy want to beat the brakes off you again, and not again, but with the flat earth thing, because you just can't get over it. So we're going to get you in the ring with Sister Tracy more, and we're going to do this flat earth thing again. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not going to comment on who won or who lost. I'm just proud of the direction that the league is taking, the Lions Den source. I'm going to add Gladiator School, too. We all one big old family. You know, and like I say, man, Hey, y'all stay tuned for more good debates. That being said, I'm out of here. Peace.
Appreciate that. Peace. All right. Somebody just called in, man. If you want to sneak in, the last call. Come on back.
Man, I'm gonna say this, man. I don't know why y'all keep talking about this washing of the hands and all that, man. When Jesus got on the Pharisees and told that man, it's not what goes into your mouth, it's what come out your mouth, and it's gonna come out in your dung. So I don't know why y'all playing games. You know what I'm saying? So that nigga ain't even believing in washing his hands, bro. So stop playing.
All right, man. That's it, man. That's it. I tried to give a couple people that was calling in. I tried to get them back.
Greg?
Hold up.
Man, what Greg at?
I think this Mugabe. Let me see. Yo, state your name. Where you calling from?
Shalom, is Rena from Harlem, New York.
Yo, peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. Actually, I wanted to touch on the scientific basis of hematology because I see that's one branch of science that nobody covers. It is found in the Bible. So first of all, I have a question to the brother. Does he even know what hematology is? Does he understand what the branch of hematology pertains to?
She's asking about hematology.
Talking about the study of blood or the study of
study of blood.
Okay, so
I really don't. I mean,
Leviticus chapter 12, verse 3, as it pertains to circumcision and why boy children should be circumcised on the 8th day, that can actually be applied medically because what the hospitals do today is they circumcise male children the first day they're born. This is the reason why now we see hospitals, they give the vitamin K shot. The problem with the vitamin K shot is that they have something called polysorbate 80, and the vitamin K shot will lead to a whole host of medical conditions like tumor growth, cancer, infertility. There's a whole host of problems with the polysorbate 80 and the vitamin K shot, which is an artificial synthetic form of vitamin K. If the hospitals and doctors would simply listen to the best of the Most High's instructions as it pertains to Leviticus, then this wouldn't be a problem.
That's right.
This is why that boy children should be circumcised on the 8th day, because that is when the full vitamin K production at 100% comes in. And you can research this yourself, brother. Doctors like Joseph Rapola even covers this topic. This is exactly why they say wait until the 8th day the baby boy to be circumcised. In addition to that, we also see that what they do right now is just snipping umbilical cords on the first day. They would leave that and cord and let it pull up with the home. There would be no need for that vitamin K. That vitamin K shot kills a lot of. There's actually something called black box warning on the vitamin K box that warns that it can lead to death. The hospitals don't tell us. There's a black box warning on vitamin K box that says it is hazardous. There's a lot of babies die from that. Okay, so there are things in nature that can be applied medically in everyday life.
I appreciate
wanted to mention that.
Appreciate the call, sis. Appreciate it sincerely. All right.
Okay.
Peace and blessings, family. Shalom. All right, man. Yo, I tried to get Mugabe up in here, King Seth, man, but he didn't call back. All right.
Man, controversy.
That's fucked up, man. That's messed up, bro.
I tried to get him back, bro.
Nah, man, what you mean get him back? You had him the first time, bro.
Nah, he hung up,
bro.
That nigga let all them. Man, you seen that? He let all them Hebrews call. Man, that's messed
bro,
up.
I ain't had no control over that, bro. Get the hell out of here, all right?
Man, yeah, you did, man. You said, man, I'm gonna call you back. I got other people. Yeah, I heard you, bro. It's cool, though.
All right, man. So we're gonna go to the judges, man. Right? We're gonna go to the judges. All right, we got we got General Yashar, we got Greg Phillips, and we got Jesus Black. All right, so we're gonna go to General Yashar first. Tell me who won, who you think won, and why, brother.
All right, shalom, shalom, family. Tanks on the ground. This is The Source. We are The Source, Lions Den Debate League, fam. All right, let's get that straight. So at the end of the day, right, great debate, family. Awesome information being put out. You know, proud of my sister for doing her thing. Proud of King Seth for holding it down for the Gladiator School. You know what I'm saying? And the Heretics. But unfortunately, King Seth, you didn't bring enough, brother. I appreciate the fact that you came with a PowerPoint. You know what I'm saying? Your presentation was better than your first couple of debates that you had. So, in my opinion, you getting better and better each debate, bro. So keep that shit rocking. Excuse my language, family. Let me tell you why. Now, let me tell you why my vote goes towards Diamond. It's so many things that she brought out to give evidence that science is in the Bible. And unfortunately, my brother didn't have no rebuttal to any of those points, from the geology, agriculture, oceanography, what else? She brought out the medical information. You know what I mean? Like all of these different things, we all can relate to science. You see what I'm saying? And the scriptures to back up each and every point that she made. So with that being said, man, I had to give it to Sister Diamond. And then another thing that when King Seth chose to use Bill, right? And that's all I'm gonna give him that respect. That's all he got. Bill the scientist, right? That guy, he made a bold statement to say, you know, that the flood couldn't be real because kangaroos is in Australia. Well, come to find out, kangaroos are man-made. So they came way after the flood. Okay. So with that being said, again, my vote gonna have to go to Sister Diamond. Congratulations.
All right, so we're gonna go to Greg Phillips. Talk to us, family. Tell us who won and give me your science behind it.
Peace and love, family. Man, I hope it be a back chat or something after this, a backroom conversation, so we can talk about the men that made the kangaroos, man. I want to hear about them. There was some, if they, as long as they black, if they black, then I'm good with it. You feel me? Hell yeah, they did it. We did that too, way back when. That's what I'm talking about, race first. So anyway, I will have to, first off, if I thought like most of the other people who are saying something thinks that when you have a question, is there science in the Bible? And you have the yay side or yes side with Sister Diamond, and then you have the nay side or no side with King Seth. It seems like the majority of the Bible believers think that the burden of proof is on the person saying no to something. But if anybody is on any collegiate debates, it's the person on the yay side, the yes side, that has the burden of proof, that has to prove something, right? So I believe that Sister Diamond brought out some scientific similarities, things that came to the same conclusion that turned out to be true out of the plethora of things that's not, like the moon having its own light. So what I think that she proved was not that it was science in the Bible, but that it was pseudoscience in the Bible. Pseudoscience is a collection of beliefs or practices mistakenly regarded as being based on a scientific method, right? So that don't really have that much of a bite unless we look at what a scientific method is. In short, is to observe, make observations, question, ask a question or identify the problem, research, search for existing answers and solutions, hypothesize, formulate a hypothesis, experiment, design.
Greg, you there?
Yeah, he I thought I was the only one tripping. He dropping out, huh?
Now he's still
What? No, I dropped out.
No, yeah, you dropped
Yeah,
out. Go
y'all
ahead.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, bet. So, right, if you have things that correlate with science, right? Even a broke clock, not a digital clock, but a clock with hands, a broke clock gonna be right twice a day. Yeah, it say 7:45, and it's 7:45, but that don't mean that clock right is wrong the rest of the day. So it takes more to show that there's science in the Bible than having things that you can find scientifically that's in the Bible. On the contrary, with pseudoscience, a lot of times you do have real science or using the results of the scientific method and what people came with and experimented on and observed and concluded to. And other people came and did the same experiments and was able to get the same type of conclusions. You have that. But the thing that you don't have is this male figure with all the power that created everything named Yah. Separate like it's saying.
Hold up. Let's stay on topic.
I mean, that's a part of the topic. I'm talking about the examples. Look, the burden of proof is on Sister Diamond. Sister Diamond used things that one of the things that she used was Yah appointing the times in reference to the salt water and the fresh water. Right? That's what I was referring to. That was something that it lined up. There are other things that lined up, but none of them things came from observation, experimentation, or none of that. It came from some other source saying so. So that makes it pseudoscience. That look like it's based off science because you have some similar results in science where you take into consideration. For every one example that sister can use, is probably at least 3 or 4 examples of something that science has shown not to be true, like this moon giving its own light. So I got to give my vote to Kyng Seth.
All right, so let me just
since
ask
she did a burden of proof was pseudoscientific.
Let me just ask you directly: are you saying that there's absolutely not one piece of science in the Bible at all? Is that what you're saying? Not one? Is nothing of science in the Bible?
I'm saying that due to pseudoscience having science in it, that there is pseudoscience with science in it. That's what I'm saying. It's pseudoscience. She proved pseudoscience in the Bible.
Right. All right, man.
There being some results that correlate with what people scientifically came with results to, like salt water and fresh water. You got some people talking about the Big Bang. It started with a singular. Just because it started with a singular thing, a singular action from a singular source, doesn't mean that Genesis, the first 2 chapters, are scientifically sound and accurate based off that. Just because these things did happen and we can find the results of some type of creative or intelligent design, if we think, because that hasn't been experimented on either, then we still have to take into consideration that doesn't make the identity of that supreme being in a particular literature also be just as true of the results of some supreme being doing it. You can have a guy that did all that and he ain't mess with Abraham at all. Don't know who Moses is and never been called God, Jesus, Allah, or none of that.
Hey, brother, you look.
All right, my bad. My vote go to
Okay. All right, brother. Thank you. Damn. All right, man. Appreciate it, I sincerely. All right. We got a tiebreaker. We got a tiebreaker. We got a split decision. Jesus Black, listen, brother.
Yo. What I'm gonna say is, I love my sister Diamond to death. I love my brother Seth. I watched a lot of their interactions in the back chats and shit, and it's hilarious as hell. But with my choice, I hope I'm not kicked out of any group. After this, I have to say, Sister Diamond started off strong. She really did. She came out strong. She swung on him, you know. But I ultimately will have to give it to Seth. I have to give it to Seth. However, I still have there's one round where I think Sister Diamond Well, actually, Seth, you kind of defeated yourself using Bill Nye, and I'm gonna tell you why. When you look up, when he brought up the ark, and he said that it was extremely long and tried to compare it to the Titanic, which was much longer. And although the materials were different, we have to keep in mind, if you read the Bible, it says it was covered in pitch. Pitch is a sealant. He acted as if we were dumb enough to believe that they just piled wood on top of wood and tied it together. So that's why I'm like, that Bill Nye didn't. That was you wasted time with that one. But I still give it to you, brother.
All right, so let me get this black. Are you saying that there's no science, not one piece of science in the Bible at all? Is that what you're saying, bro?
No, not at all. I just don't think Sister Diamond delivered as strongly as she could have.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Because I, on the other hand, might see something a little bit. Hold on. I, on the other hand, think it's possible, and there probably is a science in it. And to piggyback and maybe even stab my brother in the back with this one, because he called it a pseudoscience, it still is a proven fact that you must wash your hands. Right. or the timing of the waters not combining. It is still a fact, something that nobody actually needed to be proven, but actually accepted. Now, yeah, I understand, but that's faith.
And it needs to be running water. That's very important.
I get it, but I still want to say that I still got to say that's kind of I can't really flow with that argument. But I get what he's saying, but again, it's going to Seth. So, Sister Diamond, I applaud you. Your first debate, you did your thing. You let him know you ain't scared of him. Get him next go round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, my bad. Yeah, though, Sister Diamond, you were quite impressive. You did your thing. I didn't even think you had an assertive bone in your body. But you sound like almost got like a rapper, like you got like a raw digger type of demeanor with the debate style. I like that.
Yeah, now she get her slash. Now she get her slash on her face. She's improving herself. Now she get her slash with the knife across the face. You know what I'm saying? A scar. You know what I'm saying?
They ain't come with. They ain't say you can stop or limit infection. They ain't say like you can stop. Don't wash your hands under warm water because it's bacteria and you can catch infection. You can wash your hands because the Lord said so. There's a difference. And pseudoscience because it ain't based off the scientific method of finding out why we need to do it.
Greg, thank you, sir. Thank you, brother. All right.
Science.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you straight. I got my own opinion, and I'll save that for the back chat. I'm going to the back chat. If everybody that's watching, y'all get with us. Go to the back chat because it will.
Hey, tell them to put me in the back chat,
brother.
Quit running from Greg in the back chat because I beat him up with information.
All right,
put me in the back chat.
This right here. Jesus Black, you have officially banned yourself from all non-biased voting.
What?
Right now, brother. You are extremely biased as hell.
What?
Let me make it clear. Let me tell you why I'm saying what I'm saying. Because the debate is there science in the Bible? So like Black Jesus said, all she had to do was point out one thing. And you mean to tell me, and then you said the one thing, which was why
not if it's pseudoscience.
But
hold on. Now let me bring it back to me again. What are you saying that I said that I have to at least give her one?
I said all she had to do was bring out one valid point of science in the Bible. That's all she had to do. And you admitted that her valid point was the washing of the hands, which she said in her debate, if you was listening closely. In 1867, there was doctors
that were not washing their hands in
Okay. Well, let me clarify then. Let me clarify, because you asked me before you went into this here, you asked me, do I believe there is none? And I said, yes, there is. God damn it. Somebody trying to fucking...
Yeah, that's the back chat is already lighting up, man. That's
Hey,
already down.
hold on. Yeah, somebody I'm sorry. Somebody just called me on the back chat. What I'm saying is, hold on. Somebody just interrupted me trying to invite me to the back chat. What I'm saying is, she did well. But because she just mentioned one, I also said I believe there is some science. I just don't think she did a well enough job in presenting. Yeah, there could have been more. Now you're saying that somebody else said, well, if at least just one, then that's what I should go by. No, what by the rounds, bro?
Yeah, no, it's all good, bro. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah. I mean, it's all good. I ain't bad. I'm just saying. I love Diamond to death. You know what I mean? She's strong as shit.
You out the groups.
Oh, come on.
Nah, don't do it like that. Hey, brother Jeremiah.
Yo, what's going on,
brother
Greg?
Jeremiah?
Yo,
it's like, look, right. A big part of science isn't about the conclusions that are come to. It's about how you get to those conclusions through the methodology, through the research, through the experimentation, and through the conclusions that stem from the experimentation, right? And appeal to authority, coming to the same conclusion is not scientific just because it came to the same conclusion. It ain't because y'all ain't using the saltwater and freshwater reefer because of the composition, because of the density in the water that has more minerals in it, so on and so forth. Y'all using guys say so. Guys say so ain't scientific, even if it's right every once in a while.
Hold up. So when you was a child, your mama told you to look both ways before you cross the street, right? She told you to look both ways before you cross the street. That's science, nigga. That's science. Because if you don't look both ways, you're going to get hit by a car. And she's seen people get hit by cars who wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
Both
and
ways.
guess
That's
what?
science, bro. That's science.
And guess what? Even if Moses was truly the author of Genesis, right? He ain't observed none of that. The let there be light, vegetation growing way before his suns and stars. I'm talking about no sun in the sky, but it's photosynthesis going on. Like Moses ain't observed none of that. He didn't hypothesize none of that. He didn't experiment with none of that. Come to no conclusions off none of that. Just appeal to authority. Thus saith the Lord. That's not scientific.
The sister brought out a powerful point. The sister that called in about 8-day circumcision. Now, it was told to the children of Israel about 8-day circumcision. That is the best day. That is the best day for circumcision.
Okay, yeah, it is, because of the immune system and all that.
Science backed it up in modern times and said that is the highest percentage of
the immune system.
Yes, cells in your body. So, but the Lord said it 3,000 years ago, bro.
Okay, well, guess what? Guess what, bro? You got records of Ethiopians and other Nile Valley people, Sudanese, and some low southern upper Kemet folks circumcising way before it was some people expelled up out of Kemet, though. Coming back talking about
No, bro.
I'm still listening to Greg and Jeremiah go back and forth. What's good, people?
Abraham is before the expulsion.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
It's over,
allegedly.
But right now you just got Greg and let me.
Yeah. Hold on. Right. Now, what you say, Jeremiah?
I just said that Abraham is before that. You know.
Okay, Abraham is before that, right? But we don't have a complete book of Genesis until the Dead Sea Scrolls. We going off of the time that they were talking about there actually being one. But we ain't found no pre-exilic book of Genesis. We ain't found no during Solomon time, David time, not even Hezekiah time, a book of Genesis.
Bro, that's not the point, though.
So we just going, I'm saying, bro, it take more for something to be based at a particular time than in talking about a particular time.
That's before the Dead Sea Scrolls is before modern science, bro.
Okay.
And before modern science, it was said in the Torah to circumcise on the 8th day, to wash your hands with running water before modern science, bro. That's science in the Bible.
Okay.
Stop it,
no,
bro.
there's pseudoscience in the Bible, bro. According to the definition of a collection of beliefs or practices mistakenly regarded as being based on the scientific method.
So the Bible.
You see what I'm saying? What you bring in is not based off the scientific method, bro. It's not based off observing, hypothesizing, experimenting, and concluding. Therefore, it's not science. But to act like it was based off what science is and how you get scientific when it's not, and it can't be with this because it's just because he said so. You got people right now, Bruce and other believers right now that still believe that the moon give off its own light because the Bible says so. That the sun is actually moving in the sky. Because the word for heaven, Shemayim, is the sky. So you still got people believing that the sun is an object that's moving in the sky. We ain't moving like with Joshua now.
We do not believe
this is pseudoscience. Because the same guy that y'all say is behind the stuff that science is proved.
Bruh, I gotta mute you. Bruh, we don't believe that the moon gives off its own light. All right, that's ridiculous, man. All right. So what we're gonna do, families, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Another great and wonderful.
Hold on 1 minute.
Another great and wonderful debate that took place here at the Source of the Lion's Den. And man, I appreciate you all tuning in with us. Stay tuned. Be on the lookout for part 2 of my debate of the location of ancient Israel coming up next Sunday at 7 p.m. All right.
Yo, Jeremiah.
Yeah,
before
bro.
you shut it down, let me just say something. I just want to give a big peace, love, and shout out to my girl Ivory at Information Age. Check her out, people. I'm sorry to plug her on your shit. Well, I mean, on your thing, but that's my girl. I got to show her some love.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Peace and blessings to Sister Ivory, man. All right. So listen, family, we got those new Lion Den Debate League t-shirts, man. Contact me, DM me, and I'll get you taken care of, man. You can get it with the fringes or without. All right. So let me know something, family. With that being said, peace and blessings, and Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabarakatah Kwam Yashala.